Hello, I'm Amira and welcome to Nanyang Spectrum. It has been several months since NTU increased parking charges. In this episode, we find out more about what drove NTU to make this move and how drivers are feeling the pinch. Also, we will take a closer look at how Singapore's increasing population is affecting our happiness. We also find out about an ex-NTU student who has walked off the beaten track by dropping out of school, and an academy that trains aspiring K-pop stars. Last December, Singapore was dubbed as the unhappiest country in the world, according to the international polling firm Gallup. This comes after the recent heated argument related to the population white paper. Can Singaporeans find something to smile about if its population reaches 6.9 million? Our reporter Yandel Leong finds out more.
This is a typical scene of Singapore's mad rush hour in the morning. Many find it a nightmare fighting with these peak hour crowds almost every day. Lately, Singapore has not only experienced a boost in its economy, but also in its population, thanks to recent policies encouraging immigration to Singapore. Or some say, no thanks. The influx of foreigners into this tiny island already hits a nerve among Singaporeans. But with the population estimated to hit 6.9 million from its current 5.3 million, it might just be a huge blow to the already unhappy citizens. But what are Singaporeans unhappy about?
The weather and the lack of nightlife.
About money.
Longer waiting times.
MRT breaking down. Jurong East interchange, and you can't find standing space.
Singaporeans are also no strangers to voicing their grievances online. Rants about 7 million in Singapore on the social media platform Twitter became a trending topic. And just last December, Singapore was ranked to be the least happy in the world, beating out countries like war-torn Afghanistan and Iraq. Could Singapore's population woes be the main cause of all this unhappiness? What can we do? Daniel Wong, speaker, blogger, and author of the best-selling book The Happy Student, tells us his view.
We need to realize that happiness is a choice. One of the most important things is to stop comparing ourselves with other people. Ask ourselves, what is one thing we can do right now to improve the situation? There's always something that you can do. And I think when we take responsibility for our choices and for the outcome of those choices, I think that we'll become a lot happier.
Will Singaporeans react positively to the demographic change and remain happy? We will only know in the future when there are 6.9 million in Singapore. This is Ian De Leong, signing off.
While a rising population is negatively affecting the happiness of Singaporeans, NTU students may not be happy with the recent hikes in car park fees. Since October 2012, the NTU car park charging system has undergone some changes. Reporter Ko Chong Tat has the story.
In an effort to relieve car park congestion, the NTU hourly car park rates were raised last year for car parks in Zone 1 and 2. More significantly, the price caps for car parks in all zones were removed in order to discourage people from parking their cars on campus for longer than necessary.
Two of the more popular car parks A and B, face a fee hike as they are classified under Zone 1. The increase in cost was among the biggest concerns raised by students. Just how much does it cost to park in NTU? We asked several student drivers.
So I had to park for about 3 hours. I had to pay about $5.
I paid about $8 plus for 5 hours.
So far I've parked for about $13.
$9 to $10. Paid about $15.
$9 for half a day.
The university's explanation for the price hike was revealed last year in an email circulated by the NTU Development and Facilities Management. It stated that it aimed to alleviate car park congestion caused by illegally parked cars and cars parked longer than necessary. However, not everyone agrees with the measures implemented. In an email reply, Associate Professor Tang Xiao Hong disagreed that raising car park rates would solve the shortage of parking lots. Other students we have talked to also share Professor Tang's misgivings.
It's ridiculous nowadays because the jam is there's still a lot of cars here.
I think it's very expensive because now I have to think about where I'm going to park and everything. So, and last time my season charge was about $35, but now they increased it to about $55.
It has been over 4 months since the car park rates have been raised, but it appears that the congestion problem in NTU car parks still remains unsolved.
This is Chongtat reporting for Nanyang Spectrum.
The importance of higher education is widely recognized. A majority of young adults try to obtain a degree before working. However, some choose a different path instead, deciding to chase their dreams without a degree. Jasper Lee is an ex-NTU student who has put aside his studies to be a full-time magician. Reporter Lionel Lim follows up on the trail of the offbeat magician.
In Singapore, the importance of higher education is widely recognized. Many young adults choose to pursue a degree before entering the workforce. However, some choose different paths, pursuing their dreams first. Jasper Lee is an ex-NTU student who gave up his studies to be a full-time magician. Join us as we find out why.
Hello, hi. My name is Jasper. I am a close-up magician. I do it for a living. Yes, and I left school to do it for a living. I run my own events company. I come from a traditional Chinese family, so people kind of expect you to go to school. My sister was first-class honours graduate, so people expect the same of you.
Jasper enrolled in NTU in 2012 but dropped out midway through semester. He now runs his own company, Experience Magic. Jasper's specialty is close-up magic, performed at a setting no more than 3 meters away from an audience. Having been on the magic scene since 2010, Jasper is an active member in Singapore's Magic Circle. He has performed at Resorts World Sentosa, Marina Bay Sands, and has his own gig every Saturday evening.
In the professional line, it's very different. It's not a hobby anymore. It becomes something that you need to really do for a living. You must pay a price for this. You can't go out with people. I work on weekends. I think people in events will understand that, so you have to give up a lot of your social life.
Jasper admits that dropping school to pursue magic was a tough decision. His parents and friends, although initially skeptical, are now supportive of his decision.
I realized a lot of my peers are still in school, and the first few days in NTU has been so fun, and I'm very grateful to have met a few people there. But no matter what, it's growing up. Sometimes it means that you leave people behind, and it's part and parcel of it. You meet new people, you deal with it, and as long as there are still the people that you love, the people that you care about who's around, then it's good enough for me lah.
Like Jasper, our first interview guest today might not need to go to a school to develop her magical talent. In the first part of our interview series, Let's Talk, Erica speaks to a blogger who knows the secret to a balanced life.
In the studio today, I have a second-year English student from the School of Humanities and Social Sciences. Jemima Wei has combined her personal hobby with a career successfully at the age of 20. You may recognize her blog, Twitter, and as one of the hosts of That F Word, fashion series on Click Network. So Jemima, how did this blog thing all start?
Well, I started out the blog about 5 years ago because I enjoy writing, and also because it was a thing at that time. Everyone had a blog, so I think that kind of just grew because it just grew from there. Up to now, I will still never really know when and why it took off, but I guess it did. I won my first blogging competition in 2008, and from there it just grew.
Wow, so you started off 5 years ago, and what did you start writing about then compared to now? Do you think it's changed or stayed the same?
Well, my blog's a lifestyle blog, so it really is just about like anything and everything, and it's really about my own life, which is why when people always ask me what your blog's about, I'll be like, nothing
you
much.
don't know.
It's just my own life.
Just your life.
Yeah, so I guess it has changed in the sense that the things that's going on in my life has changed, but besides that, not really. Yeah.
So how did you win this blogging competition?
It was just it was the George Yu, and supposed to be annual, but I haven't really had any like follow-ups blogging competition where you just blog about what Singapore means to you.
Oh, okay. So you entered into the competition, or did somebody? Oh, okay. Did you win anything for this?
Yeah, I won first prize. I won an iPod. So yeah,
Ooh.
that was a big deal to me at that
Very
time.
nice.
Yeah.
Do you have any certain thing that you like to write about on your blog?
I think I love literature, so
okay.
I would love to go into doing that, like book reviews and things like that. But I think because it's time consuming, I've only done a few, and also the nature of a blog as a medium is very visual as well. So you can't just put huge chunks of words there. People get like tired and bored.
I got what you mean.
Yeah.
So you do go to school at NTU. How do you juggle studying and your blog all at the same time?
I think it's quite okay actually, because well, most people here actually work part-time. So I don't because I enjoy writing, I don't really find it as a very taxing thing. Yeah.
How do you go about getting sponsors for your blog?
Well, I don't normally approach people, but if they come and approach me, I'll be like, oh, sure, let's do it. Like, yeah.
And what is that comprised with?
Well, like for example, my hair is sponsored by Urban Hair currently.
Okay.
So they basically make sure my hair looks the way it's supposed to look on screen, and I'll just blog about them when I go to the salon, and when people ask me where I do my hair, I tell them that I do it at Urban Hair.
That is awesome. I wish that I could get a hair thing like that. So you recently just gave away an iPad to one of your viewers.
Yeah.
I heard.
iPad Mini.
Okay, an iPad Mini.
Yeah.
How did they win that, and how did you write about?
Well, it's actually part of the Total Defense 2013 campaign.
Okay.
I was approached by Wow Interactive, which is a local PR agency, and they were helping to run this campaign. So what happens is I will organize like tasks on Twitter, and my followers will just have to complete like 10 out of the 21 tasks, and they will win. The best will win. Yeah. So.
Wow, lucky them. What would you say is the hardest thing about keeping a blog?
I guess just when things start getting busier and busier, you start having less and less time to update, and I guess sometimes you're just so tired after school, you just don't really have like the energy to write or to phrase things coherently, and yeah, that does get a bit.
Do you have any upcoming events that you are doing? You said that you were modeling or doing a shoot tomorrow?
Yeah, doing a shoot tomorrow with Straits Times Urban, the urban section. Me and my co-host of the show, we're doing this interview for Urban about fashion.
Will you tell me about the show that you co-host?
Oh, sure. It's actually a show about fashion.
Okay.
But it's very broad in the sense that we do interviews with schools, and we do street style, but we also do collaborations with brands like Topshop, Urban Hair, to teach our viewers how to style themselves and things like that.
And do you have anything to tell the viewers that they should be looking for on your blog? Anything that they should be watching out for?
At the moment, I've just conducted 3 major giveaways, so I think now it's going to be quiet for a while.
So maybe I'll go on your blog and enter?
Maybe.
Thanks, Jemima. Wish you all the best. So, Amira, do you blog?
Yes, I do have a blog. Basically, the blog is just for me to type out random stuffs, what's happening in school, what I eat for dinner, what movie I watch, and what music I listen to. And talking about music, Gangnam Style has taken the world by storm. But fans of Korean pop, also known as K-pop, know better. There's so much more to K-pop than just Psy's catchy lyrics and funky dance moves. Join our reporter Chong Wai as we bring you a behind-the-scenes look into a unique Korean academy in Singapore.
Alpha Entertainment Group is a Singapore-owned entertainment company well known for creating K-pop girl band ska. Unknown to many, Alpha currently has an academy in Singapore. Opened only last December, its aim is to raise the standard of the arts in the general population. Today, we have come to Alpha's Dream Station Academy here at Temasek Club. This is his temporary location where most of his lessons are currently being carried out. Dream Station Academy currently offers dance and vocal trainings and has plans to expand their classes to include language and acting classes in the future. This would allow them to groom their students to be all-rounders in the entertainment field, making them a one-of-a-kind artist academy in Singapore.
In Dream Station, what we really look at is the basic foundations of an artist. Of course, we all start off as not knowing what to do, but essentially here we give you guys a basic background of what you need in terms of all the different genres, expose our artists to all this, and hopefully from then on, they can bring themselves to the next level. To be performing artists in either dance, vocals, or acting, whichever they might please to choose.
Another special feature of the Academy is its unique training style. Dream Station focuses completely on replicating Korean training methods used by renowned Korean instructors who have managed and produced artists like SNSD and Miss A.
The style of training is quite intense because I mean you want to actually train them to be stars, so you cannot actually be all too relaxed on them and things like that, because you have to prepare them for the future. And I think that's what the training style that we're actually going for, to be actually not only just having a very cohesive kind of training, but I think more so that it's also very stringent and very regimental as well.
What we focus here in Dream Station is a lot more on foundation first, especially for level 1s like for them. After foundation, we'll go to another level, which is the urban side of dance in the 2012-2013 era, where they start to learn different kinds of control. So once you get to know your foundation well, then yeah, you can get to fly actually much more.
Training can be very tedious, but the students really enjoy it.
The friendship we have within us is really good. Everything just adds on, and like all the people, it's like we know each other, and then we get to know each other more and more, and become like just one big family. So that's what I really love about this. We gain a lot of experience, and then as she said, the friendship, and like all the dance steps, our vocals, our dance, and then we just basically gain a lot of experience into our lives.
In a few months' time, Dream Station Academy will be moving from this location to a larger space in town, symbolizing its step into a brighter future. As you can see, this academy offers something unique that's not seen anywhere else in Singapore. If you're interested, do check out the classes they have by visiting their website for more information. Dream Station Academy, a new experience, a new culture. Realize your dreams here.
This is Chong Wai for Nanyang Spectrum.
While on the topic of music, Erica speaks to local indie folk quartet, the Sam Willows, in our second part of Let's Talk. They have wowed the Singaporean crowd since the debut of their album in October last year. They are all set to take on international stage with their upcoming North American tour. Certainly, you'll be wondering how these young people juggle all their other commitments on top of being in a band.
Young, fun, and brimming with potential. I have Jonathan and Narelle here from the Sam Willows with me today. They are part of the Singapore music scene and are certainly one of the new faces to watch. Thank you so much for joining me in the studio today, guys.
No problem.
I first have a question to ask you. How did you come up with the name, the Sam Willows?
Well, it's quite interesting actually, because it wasn't the kind of thing where it just popped out, because we thought about it for quite a while. We wanted to create kind of like an alternative
alter ego.
Yeah, like an alter ego,
Okay.
to represent the four people, because we're all very different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Musically, we're all very different because, well, Narelle likes jazz. I like country and blues music. Ben, he likes folk and indie, and Sandra likes soul music. So it's all very different. So
It's
we
not
wanted
really genres that you usually put together. So I guess we kind of wanted to get a name that would appropriately
represent
surmise
the
our
four of
sound.
us.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. So how would you describe the style of your music then?
As in the Sam Willows?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's a bit of everything that comes together. That that comes together nicely, I guess.
Yeah, it's quite nice because when people listen to our music, they actually can identify all our sources and be like, hey, you really sound like Prince or Bon Iver, and these are two completely different artists, but they can still identify with that, so it's nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. So you've recently just put out, or back in October, is it? You just had your debut EP.
EP launch, yeah.
That is not an album, but it's shorter. You said it's 4 to 5 songs that you had on it?
We have 6 tracks on it.
Okay,
actually.
6
Total
tracks.
6 tracks, yeah.
How did you record that and how did that come to be?
Well, I guess it started with when we started the band somewhere in February, and then we met this musical producer. He's a theatre string arranger. His name is Bang Wen Fu, and he says that you guys have a lot of potential, and he really liked what he saw. So he brought us to the studio, and we started. It was kind of a mad frenzy because John and I, we just started our first sem, as in sem 1. So it was a lot of late nights at the studio, and after that maybe from like 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. and then you still have to meet after that for a debrief, to figure out like and rehear the songs. So it was quite a long process.
I guess there were days that like from school we ended like 5, so we headed down to the studio because the studio is really really far away.
Wow.
It's like the northeastern part of Singapore, so we reached about like maybe 8.
Well, that's far in Singapore.
Yeah, it's considered far. So we reached about 8. We record till like 4 a.m. And then by the time we get home it's like 6.
Wow.
And then from there we sleep for like an hour or 2, and then we come back to school again, and then the next day is the same process. But it was fun. We enjoyed every part of it.
It was really fun. It helped us a lot that we actually shot a music video for Nightlight.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And because we booked the date quite early, so we had to get the songs out and ready. So it was a good motivator. And when we actually did that song first before we started on the other, so when the actual video came out, it was a good like nudge, to continue going on, which is nice.
Wow.
I think the whole process took about 4 to 6 months.
4 to 6 months.
4 to 6 months.
Of long, tiring days.
Yes.
Yeah.
So other than being tired, was there any other difficulties that came with recording that, or not so much?
Well, I mean, I guess as musicians, there's always conflict in terms of ideas and everything. But what we feel that helped us a lot was,
I guess the conflict actually helped us.
Yeah, the conflict helped us because we go by the theory, that if 4 of us can come to an agreement, that we feel that, okay, this is something that we like a lot and we're really willing to put it out there, then that has to hold some kind of ground,
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome that you guys got to go in the studio and record all those things. How did your producer find you? Were you doing a certain gig, or did he just somehow hear you on YouTube?
Actually, we met through a mutual friend who was also
okay.
a singer. Yeah. So
Very
like
nice.
we met, and then we met up for like coffee, and then
But
we
also
just
from
talked.
YouTube.
Yeah, he found us actually on YouTube.
Okay, so you guys do have songs on YouTube then?
Yeah, we do.
That's how you started off then?
Actually, I think one of the biggest push for us was when we released this video called Hey Soul Sister, and We Are Young, Train and Fun cover, and we actually got quite good response from that. People really liked it, so we felt like maybe this works. So
yeah,
exactly. And then that's how
you got good
started.
feedback from the YouTube community. Very cool. Do you guys have any certain gig that is most memorable for you guys, like the most fun?
I think every gig that we go to, it always surprises me. Like sometimes I'm on stage and I feel like this is the moment that I'm gonna remember forever, and like nothing can top this. And then the next gig we do, suddenly something else amazing happens. So it's always surprising. I think one of the most memorable for me was when we did a gig at NUS U-Town, and it was quite a laid back thing. It was on the lawn. It was really nice, fairy lights, and we just sang. And towards the end, we had like 150 people just dancing and jumping on the lawn.
That's a good feeling.
Yeah, it was a really good feeling. I think I like that one the best.
Okay, before we go, I know that you guys are taking a huge tour to North America. So can you quickly tell me a little bit about that?
We're heading up to LA first. We're doing a couple of shows in LA, and then from there we're going to Austin. We're playing at the South by Southwest Festival. I think we are probably the youngest Singapore band to ever play for the South by Southwest Festival.
Good for you guys.
So it's really exciting. We're doing a couple of other shows there, and then we're heading up to Toronto to play the Canadian Music Festival. And then we have a couple of other tour stops as well, and I think we're playing for a children's hospital in Toronto as well. So that's really exciting. I'm really excited for that one, because I enjoy doing like these kind of shows. It's always more. It's very heartwarming.
Meaningful.
Yeah, it's meaningful.
Yeah.
So Canadian Music Festival and South by Southwest Festival. These are the highlights of the whole trip. So it's exciting. Yeah.
That is a lot to take in. Well, thank you so much for joining me
Thank
today,
you for having
and
us.
good luck on the upcoming tour and with your future success. I bet that you guys will do fantastic with what you have already accomplished. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Join me again next week as I speak to more interesting personalities on Let's Talk. Back to you, Amara.
Well, it looks like it's time for us to part ways. But before I say goodbye, if you have a compliment or comment or simply want to know more about what you have seen on the show, write to us at ntu.spectrum.tv@gmail.com. I'll repeat that. It's ntu.spectrum.tv@gmail.com. Don't forget to leave your name and contact number so we can get back to you. You can also log on to www.spectrumtv.sg for more information and a webcast of our show. Join us again next week, where we will update you with more exciting news and interviews. See you next week on Nanyang Spectrum. Goodbye!